We've been talking a lot about the war rhetoric here in France. Isn't that playing in the hands of the Islamic State group?
It's surely playing in the hands of the Islamic State, because we have to remember that since the establishment of this group, they have a propaganda saying that they are alone against everybody. And we are seeing how things are being constructed, if I may say so, in Syria and Iraq, when they started by fighting, for example, the Syrian regime, the Iranians, and they were saying from the beginning, wait and see, the West will join them against us as they claim representatives of the Muslims. And when you see this coalition with no real common interests, you see, it surely serves their propaganda. And you have to remember also that all jihadi groups, since the days of bin Laden, even before, they tend, or they wish, to bring boots on the ground and to fight the West, as they say. And even in their ideological construction, and this is why Syria is very important for them, because it was said in the Hadith, which is the holy books of Islam, that the fight, or the final fight, will happen in Dabiq, which is a real place northern of Aleppo, that they hold. And there will be big confrontation between Muslim armies and Roman armies as Western armies. And that's what they wish for. That's
the apocalyptic
that's
end
what they
of
want. Exactly. That's what they want. And remember, in the summer of 2014, when they executed the pilots and officers of the Syrian regime, they showed also the head of a Western journalist, and they left it there in this particular place in Dabiq. Even their magazine in English is called Dabiq. So in their mental construction, in their aims, in their ideology, that's exactly what they want.
So now if France hardens its position and does send troops on the ground, will that be counterproductive?
I guess it will be counterproductive, and I guess that we should also look at what's happening with new eyes, if I may say so, because we are not facing the terrorism of the 80s and the 90s, when we had states behind this terrorism. And nowadays, we see that they are able to imbricate, to motivate people who are Western citizens, either to join them or either to put up the fight here in the West. We should remember that what's happened here in Paris, we are starting to have a few elements, and we know that it's the first time that they claim responsibility for such a big organized action in Paris and even in Europe. That's the first. We should say it, and it's the first time that we have attackers with explosive belts, 8 or 7. So this happened maybe in Baghdad. It didn't even happen in Damascus. So what they are saying, they are telling us that the war with them, or waged on them, wouldn't be as we imagine, wouldn't be confined to Syrian and Iraqi territory. They are exporting their war into Europe, and they are very opportunistic. When they can hit, they hit. There's no link with what's happening really on the ground. Before, remember Friday, we were talking about Sinjar, the beginning of the end with the Battle of Sinjar that they lost. And we said before the attacks that be careful, there's 2 modes of operation. There's what's happening on the ground, the fight, the regular fight, and there are terrorist operations like they did in Tunisia twice, like they did with the Russian plane in the Sinai, like they did in Beirut 3 days ago, and now Friday in Paris. So those 2 modes of operation aren't really linked. So diminishing their power on the ground isn't really gonna lessen the terrorist threat here in the West. It might even increase it.